Most of us are looking forward to moving to better countries, especially to look for better job opportunities, better pay, higher salary. And most of us, especially us from African countries, are looking forward to moving to better countries. People from Asia, a lot of people who are maybe in less developed, underdeveloped countries are looking forward to moving to the diaspora to look for a better job, to improve their life, white-collar job, standards of living. And most of us end up coming to the UAE. You know why? Because it's so easy to get the visa. You apply for a visa today, tomorrow you get a visa, just like that. But before you think of moving to the UAE, I would like you to watch this video. There are 10 things you need to know before moving to the UAE. After watching this video, you will be the one to decide if you want to choose coming to the UAE to look for a job or maybe some other country. So stay tuned with me. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Jessica here. If this is your first time seeing this face, I'm called Jessica and this is my YouTube channel. You're so welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I love you. Thank you for sticking with me. You're welcome. So in today's video, like the intro said, we're going to be looking at 10 things you need to know before considering moving to the UAE. I'm a YouTuber based here in the UAE, precisely Abu Dhabi, the capital of UAE. Yeah, I'm based here in Adafra, working presently. I've been in the UAE for 1 year, 6 months now, and there are a lot of things I wish I knew then that I know now. I wish someone told me before even coming to this country. And maybe I wouldn't have even come, but since, like they say, we are moving forward, not backward, okay? So when you're into the country, you just need to accept your fate, maybe work your money and go somewhere else, somewhere better. But in this video, we're going to be looking at 10 things, 10 vital things, 10 important things that anyone considering moving to the UAE must know before making a final decision of whether to come to the UAE or not. So let's bounce right into the video. Stay with me, don't touch the dime as we go into this video. But before we go into the video, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I would like you to press the subscription button, the red subscribe button, and turn on the post bell notification. So you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. And you can also share this video to anyone you know that wants to move to the UAE for them to get their facts right, to get all the information they need on their hands before making the final decision. So like I said, 10 things you need to know before moving to the UAE. Number one, work here in the UAE is contractual. I don't know if that English is right, but it means you work here based on contracts. Yeah. You have 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and so on. And most of the contracts here, the contracts are renewable. So if you get a job in the UAE, you sign a contract with a particular company to work for a number of years under that company. So you'll be under that company for that number of years. And when you're done with your contract, if you want to return home, if you want to renew your contract and continue, you can do that. All those details will be found on your employment contract if the contract you're signing is renewable or non-renewable. So you need to know that the work in UAE is contractual. You work just for a period of time in the UAE. Most of the contracts here are 2 years. 2 years. You work just for 2 years, and you work for 1 year. After, you go for a 1 month vacation, and you come back and complete the other pending year, which to finish the contract, and you get your gratuity for a number of periods you've worked for the company, and you're paid your flight ticket back to your country. If you want to renew, you go to your country and you come back, you sign your renewal document, you go to your country and come back and continue working. That's number 1 point. Work in UAE is based on contracts. Number 2, unlike other countries, America, Europe, Shanghai countries, China, in UAE, you are not allowed legally. Don't quote me somewhere. I said legally, you're not allowed to work in the UAE for more than 1 company. It's not allowed. It's against the law. In UAE, you have just 1 job. You work for a company and you stay in that company until your contract finishes, until you finish your contract. If you are found working in another company, when another company did documents for you, papers for you, you are violating UAE laws, and you will be penalized for that. You can even be banned from the country, sent home, even thrown into prison like that. So in UAE, You come to UAE, you work for one company. When you get a job, the company will do all your papers for you. So you're expected to stay in that company till you complete your contract. You're not allowed to work in any other company, no. So you're allowed to get just one job in the UAE. Number 3, in the UAE, you know UAE is a desert country. We all know that. Expect this very hot climate. The climate here is so hot, seriously. When I came here, I found a lot of difficulties, but now I've adjusted. I even like this country, seriously. If you ask me if I want to leave, although my people back home are telling me, maybe you will go to a better country, but for me, I just see myself staying here, improving myself, advancing in my career and life totally. So the climate here in UAE is so hot, but they have a remedy for that, so don't be scared, okay? Everywhere in UAE you will find AC. Yeah, you go into a taxi, you have AC there. You go into the mall, you have AC. Every building has an AC in the building. Every room have an AC, so you don't have to be bothered maybe you'll be suffocated, too much heat. So no, they know that the country they have, it's a desert country and it's very hot, so that's why we have AC for you to help regulate your temperature or whatever. I don't know, so get ready for that. UAE is very hot most of the time. Number 4, it's illegal. Get this point, it's illegal based on law to work when you're still on visit visa. A lot of people, I know there is direct employment, don't get me wrong. If you come with direct employment, the company will do all your papers for you, but there are people like me, Jessica. I came to the UAE with a visit visa. Yeah, because that one is so easy to get. You can apply for a visa today, tomorrow you get a visa just like that. I came to the UAE with visit visa. It's a 3 months duration visa, renewable. If you want to renew, you renew within the country, but you cannot work with the visit visa. You have to get a job. The company will do an employment visa for you before you are allowed to work. If you are caught working in the UAE when you're still on visit visa, it's against the law and you will be penalized, thrown into prison, or even deported for that. I know most companies in the UAE will take you with your visit visa. You will be working while still on visit visa until that visa kalas mean in the UAE means finish. Until that visa gets finished before they do employment visa for you, but it's wrong. Just know that in the UAE, if you come to the UAE, you are expected to be on employment visa before you are allowed to work in the UAE. Get that fact straight. Number 5, the end of the month in UAE is not the end of the month in your country, wherever you're coming from. Like the month end on a month end 30th, 31st February, we have 28, 29 like that. But UAE, I'm saying this based on salary, don't get me wrong, based on salary. UAE, most in country, when the month is ending, everybody's expecting their salaries, they have bills to pay back home. But here in UAE, my friend, reality, you have to work. The month will end. When the month ends, you have to work again for like 2 weeks. Most companies have been in UAE. I've been in like 3 or 4 companies throughout my stay in UAE. Even the company I am presently, they pay on the 2nd week of the month. That's 15th. Yeah. So the end of the month in most countries, not the end of the month in UAE. No. So if most companies, if you're coming to work in the UAE, don't maybe 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 31st, don't expect your salary to come within that duration. Just maybe 2nd week. Some people will even extend to the 20-something. Yeah, that's how most companies in the UAE are. So expect that seriously. The earlier you just come with terms with that, the better, and you will have peace of mind in this country. So number 6, the 6th point is when you get a job in the UAE, you lost rights to your passport. That's so sad. It's so sad, seriously. When you get a job in the UAE, you lost right to your own passport, your own personal document. Don't get me wrong, it's illegal by law. The law does not allow that, but most companies in the UAE practice that. When you get a job in the UAE, you give your passport to your company. The company process your documents with your passport. They give you your visa and your Emirates ID. They give you an Emirates ID. Excuse me, let me even show you how my own look like. So you get an Emirates ID, something like this. Yeah, the company process your Emirates ID for you, and that is what you use to work till your contract ends. They keep your passport till the end of your contract. That's one thing about UAE I myself I don't like. But don't get me wrong, if you need your passport for anything, maybe you have an issue, or maybe a problem that requires the original passport document to be submitted, you come to your company, you ask for your passport. You have to give a good reason, before the company will give your passport to you for a number of days, and they are expecting you to bring a passport back before that day elapses. So you bring your they will give your passport after you tell them the reason why you want your passport. They give you your passport. You go do whatever you want to do with your passport. You come back and give the passport to the company. So the passport belongs to the company for a number of years. You'll be working under that company. The passport is not yours. So when you come to the UAE, especially those coming through direct employment, your passport will even be taken from you at the airport. The passport will even be taken from you at the airport. Expect that. That's the 6 point. Okay, one good thing about working in the UAE is that salary is tax free. I've heard about this in America. A lot of things, tax. Maybe your salary will come and you have to pay a certain amount of money. A certain amount of some money will be cut from your salary to pay tax. It's called income tax. But in UAE, we don't have that. Your salary, what you see, it's what you get. If they say they're paying you 1,000 dirham, they'll give you 1,000 dirham. That's for you to use. They don't deduct your salary to pay. No, UAE does not have income tax. No income tax in UAE. That's one thing you have to know. So that's one good thing about UAE, right? Yeah, that's one good thing I like the country. We don't have anything to do with tax. The only tax we get to pay here is VAT 5%. That's when you're shopping. VAT, value added tax 5%. That's just 5%. It's not even much. So the income here is tax free. What you see on your offer letter is what you get. They don't deduct your salary for any income tax, whatever. No income tax in UAE. So kudos to UAE for that. Number 8. One thing about UAE that I myself I don't like. Although I so much like the country. UAE does not UAE unlike other countries. I'm saying all this based on working in other countries. So UAE does not give residency. What I mean is UAE does not give citizenship or permanent residency like Canada, America. If you live in Canada for maybe 3 to 5 years, you can apply for permanent residency, and maybe 5 years and above, you can apply for citizenship. They have procedures, and if you get your documents right, your records in the country is okay, you are allowed to become a citizen. But in UAE, my friend, you can live here for 50 years. They will not give you citizenship. They will not give you permanent residency. No. That does not exist in UAE. Okay? That does not. But I heard personally there is a law to get citizenship in UAE, but there's one thing about that law I don't like. You have to denounce your citizenship from your country you're coming from. Who does that? No. Let them keep their citizenship. We don't need it. So UAE does not give citizenship. You can work here, renew your visa, but they will never give you citizenship. I guess that's why their passport is so valuable, because UAE passport is the number 1 passport in the world. Know that. Number 9, communication. I know there is accent problem, this and this, but communication in UAE, you must speak broken English. No, you must speak broken English, brother, sister. You know broken English? You cannot come to UAE and be speaking your Polish English. Excuse me, please, where can I get this? Hello, sir, please, I'm going to this place. Hello, please, where did you? No. Most of the people working in the UAE, most of the people who will be within your circle, most of the people you'll be working with won't understand that particular form of English. So the type of English you speak in the UAE, Hey, Baba, where you go? Hey, me not see. Kalas. What to do? To say, oh no, I don't need this. No needs. A lot of broken English. Where you go? How you doing? Instead to say, how are you doing? How you doing? I did not see her. Me no see. It's that serious. Broken English in UAE. Expect that. So number 10, the last but not the least. It's easy. Like I said on my intro, it's easy. It's so easy to get a visa to come to the UAE. I myself, when I applied for my visa, I did not even take up to, like in America, you apply for visa, you wait for like go through interviews. No. UAE visa is electronic, and you get your visa maybe within the next day even, or even the same day. It's easy to get visa to come to the UAE. Visit visa, I don't know about employment visa, but I think employment visa is easy to get. But I came through visit visa. It's easy to get visit visa. And even if you come to the UAE, 3-month visit visa, you look for a job within that 3 months, you don't get, it's okay. You can renew your visa. You can renew your visa within the UAE without going to your country and coming back, without exiting the country and coming back. Okay, guys, so that's the end of this video. 10 things you need to know before coming to the UAE. So these are the 10 things. These are the 10 facts I gathered for you guys. I hope you found this video interesting and informative. If you like this video, smash the like button. Give me a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed up to this point of the video, please subscribe. Jessica is begging you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please support me. Also, share this video to your friends for them to know before making their decision of coming to the UAE. Till next time, it's Jessica here. Bye bye.